So during the break, I was saying, we're coming back from Nashville, and we're up 57, and I see a sign that says Ned Shed, and I'm like, that we were just talking about Ned Shed, right? Like,
2 weeks ago.
Okay,
Yeah.
so
Yes.
I've got a plan now that I know that is in my, pathway.
Yes, when you go back down to Shawnee National Forest Country, right there in Vienna, Ned Shed, great burgers.
Okay, here's what else I was wondering. How far off of the interstate is Shawnee National Forest? Do you have to go another hour, or is it?
It depends on what
where
part
you are
of it you're going to.
It's so big.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, your territory is so big. That's what I kept thinking. I'm like, oh gosh, I feel like I just left Nashville and I'm already seeing things that we've talked about. But so much fun. Of course, that is Andy Waterman, ILLINOISouth. We're also got a special guest, the city administrator for Trenton, Illinois, Mr. John Marquardt. Thank you so much for being here.
Oh, you're welcome. Thanks for having me. I appreciate the opportunity to talk about the city of Trenton.
So how does a Chicago native get to Trenton, Illinois?
Well, kind of herky-jerky. I really got down to this area from the Upper Peninsula of Michigan, where I was a city manager. I came down to the village of Shiloh to be their village administrator, and now I'm over in my third year in the city of Trenton.
What's the population of Trenton?
2,690 population.
Right in there. I was just saying
Yep.
that I grew up in a small town about that exact same size, but I got to tell you, Trenton is doing a lot more than New Madrid, Missouri ever did. I'm looking at this 2022 summer concerts in the park. You guys are rocking it, and it kicks off June 8th. Then you got another one June 22nd. This is going to be fantastic. When did you guys start this?
This is our third year for having these concerts. We have a great park system, and we have a couple pavilions in our city park, and so. It was just kind of a thought. They really don't get used unless there's an event that's going on, baseball or the park boosters are having an event. Say, well, let's use these pavilions and do something else. And so I know the folks at the Metro East Musicians Union and reached out to them and said, let's do some concerts. And so we're in our third year, and the bands that are going to be coming out starting next Wednesday, they've been out before. They get the good receipt by the folks that come out, and we're just happy to be able to do it. It's a night out for families. The city of Trenton is a family-oriented community, and this is one good way to get the folks to come out. The mom and dad and grandparents can watch the concert, and kids can go play on the playground equipment or play basketball or tennis or whatever they'd like to do. And quite frankly, now that our pool is open, they can take a swim while others in the family are watching the concert. So we're really happy to be able to provide this amenity to our residents.
It really is a great way to get everybody kind of together, because I feel like, obviously the pandemic had us missing that kind of thing. But for years, people put up their fences, and maybe you knew your neighbors, maybe you didn't. But when you put a band in the park, and everybody is going to come out with their picnic basket, or you got food trucks as well, right?
Absolutely. We've been reaching out to food trucks, and we don't care how many of them come out. If there's one or two or three or four, as many as can come out is what we're looking for, and give people an opportunity. The concert, they start playing music at 7, but we encourage those food trucks that are come on out about 4:30, 5 o'clock, get set up, and we can help you advertise and let folks know that there's opportunity to have a bite to eat before they can listen to some music.
Yeah, it's so much fun.
Well.
And you guys have kind of covered the gamut. I know you've got the Waterloo German Band later in September, but a little bit of everything crossing genres.
Oh, absolutely. We got, for example, Short Miss. They're a two-person band, and I'll tell you, Misty, if you ever want to hear a good rendition of Janis Joplin, she's
really?
She's it. And Frankie and the house, they play all manner of songs and music. It's just a you'll find the band that you like, the music that you like by coming out. It's all different.
And do you find that a lot of people get out of their lawn chairs and start dancing?
Oh, we find that, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. For some more so than the others. The people like the polka with the Waterloo German Band. But everybody gets out and they do something. So it's good to see that happen.
As we were leaving town and then coming back, I realized that big mural is going up kind of in East St. Louis. But you guys are doing a mural of your own, that one just got finished and then another one coming?
We have one that just got finished. It's on the west side west side of our city hall. And it's a postage stamp kind of a mural, and it's really, it says greetings from Trenton, and it's bright colored, and it shows the farming area, the agricultural area of the city. It shows the downtown area of the city, bright colors, and it really got a lot of notice. And we've advertised it on the tourism site and in tourism magazine, so we're happy about that. And as of today, I was just telling the tourism folks that the outline for the second mural, which is on the east wall of the Trenton Processing Loading Dock, is pretty much done.
Really?
And so now our muralist will be adding the colors to it, and it'll take a couple, 3 more weeks. And
Same artist doing both of them?
Same artist. And
That's one way to pull in the young kids. That's, selfie territory right there. You can get in front of that postage stamp and then start sharing it on social media.
And we've seen that a lot where people come into town, they get a picture on it. We have it lit at night, and we'll do the same thing for at Trenton Processing. But it's really going to be, we want to try to bring an art organization and an art effort into the community. We're talking about not just that, but maybe doing an art walk in our city park once we start to get a little bit more refined and get more into it. So it's really good, and then we're going to look to use that as a mechanism for tourism and to bring people into the town.
Fantastic. Every time Andy is here, which is every Tuesday, we have to talk about the food of each of these great communities. And Andy, I know that you've got to have a couple favorites in Trenton, so I'll get your take on it first.
Well, obviously. I'm not going to go to a town and not eat. I mean, come on. Actually, they've got a smattering of a little bit of everything. One of my coffee shops, favorite coffee shops in ILLINOISouth is actually there, the Press. And they have so many different, they've got, your traditional beverages, but they also do seasonal items. So around Halloween time, they did one that was vampire's blood, but it was, raspberry.
Yeah.
But it was really cool. So it was like a white chocolate, and then they put the raspberry, like 2 drops in there, so it looked like, like fangs.
It
was really cool. So they do seasonal drinks like that. And then, obviously, if you are a fan of dairy treats, you got to go to Dairy King. They've got great ice cream, but their burgers are also really good, and their menu is just huge in general.
Dairy
King. Yes.
Yep.
Not the Queen.
Not the Queen. No, there's the quite frankly, it's well known. They have a following that gets out as far as the St. Louis area. But when I moved down here, I never heard of Dairy King until I moved into Trenton. And the family that owns it has another one in Breeze. And it is just as popular there. So it's a good business to have. It's right on the 2 main drags that we have in town. And they just did, about a year and a half or so ago, a big remodel and purchased a couple of homes behind them, and really did a lot with their property to make it a lot more curb appealable and to get more people in there and ease traffic flow. So they did a real good job. They're good corporate citizens.
That's awesome.
When he says ease traffic flow, he means it, because people will literally line up for around the block just to eat there. I'm not even kidding.
Wow.
I don't know if this is because I'm trying to lose weight, Andy, but this double cheeseburger from Dairy King, really good. And the raspberry vinaigrette wrap with craisins and almonds, that looks really good.
Everything.
You're not gonna go wrong. All of their food on the lineup is really good.
The other thing that I read about you guys is you're a tree city. What does that mean exactly?
We are a tree city. In fact, that's fairly new as we went from 21 into 22. It is an emphasis that the city has on the environment and how trees help the environment, how trees help clean the air, and add beauty to our community. We're going through doing a tree inventory of our community right now. We have one done for our city park area, and we know we have about 175 trees in City Park, and they've all been identified by the species. They've been identified in terms of size, and they have been identified in terms of how they need to be trimmed or topped or what have you. And we're looking to do all of that throughout the entire community. We're looking to be able to develop an inventory of trees, that we have some vacant city land where we can get trees, plant them, and so that we have an inventory when we have to take one down or it gets damaged because of a storm or something, that we can take it out and put in a tree right away. We're a part of that whole community. We're putting together a tree ordinance and a tree board. One of my plant commissioners is a certified arborist, so we're using his skills and abilities
Smart.
to help us on that. And we advertise that we're a tree city just because of the environmental impact, positive environmental impact that trees have. So,
That's fantastic.
and we're looking to get all different kinds, flowering trees and those that grow. They take long and slow to grow, but ultimately they're going to be 100-year-old tree, and that's the kind of thing that we're looking for.
Somebody
So-
on our text line, I'm a local and I like DK shakes and concrete's better than DQ. What
There you go.
Yeah, that's a no-brainer,
There you
right?
go.
Yeah, anything else about Trenton that you wanted to share with us?
Well, I think that we have a very active park system, and part of that is we have a boosters club, and we're going to we have the booster bash coming up on the weekend of June the 10th. There'll be 70 some odd softball teams coming into the area, so we're looking
Fast
forward to
pitch,
that.
slow pitch?
Slow pitch girls.
Got ya.
So we're having that, and then something that we're really proud of, and the mayor, Andy Way, was instrumental in we're getting the state junior American Legion state championship.
Oh,
Tournament.
baseball.
Baseball.
That'll bring a lot of people
That'll
in.
be the end of July, and that's going to be in Trenton, and there could be 6, 8, or a few more teams than that playing their games in the city of Trenton.
And in
So
case
that-
somebody's never been to Trenton, what's your next closest, municipality or city that go, oh, okay, now I know what we're talking
Well,
about.
then I think you probably need to go to the west, and that would be, people might recognize Lebanon, or
Okay.
maybe more so, they'd recognize O'Fallon, Illinois, Shiloh. So, yeah, we're about 10 miles to the east of them. To the west is Aveston and Breeze. Highland is to the north, so we're right in that area, close to Mid-America Airport, close to Scott Air Force Base.
Right there.
They might be 7, 8 miles away.
Is it mostly a farming community?
It's pretty much a farming community, yes. We're just inside the St. Clair, Clinton County line, and a lot of farms all around the city. But we're also a pro-development community too, looking for retail, looking for industrial, so that we can take advantage of what's going on over at Scott Air Force Base and at Boeing, and from a residential standpoint to improve the housing stock that we have. So. Top Ag is a big agricultural business, regional business, and their big facilities within the city of Trenton. So
Well, and we can all come check it out and listen to some music. It's kicks off on June 8th with Frankie and the House Shakers, and again, starts at 7 o'clock. But you
Yes.
can get over there, mark your spot with your lawn chair, your
Yes.
blanket, and
Absolutely.
Can people bring their own drinks in?
no.
Okay. You look at
No. I think it may happen, but it's not.
It's not.
It's not encouraged.
I got you. Well, it's such a pleasure to have you. And Andy, anything you wanted to add about your favorite spot in Trenton?
I love Trenton. I was going to add a few things about events this coming up weekend in ILLINOISouth. It is a big weekend for events. So obviously the biggest is the big Cup Series race at Worldwide Technology Raceway. That is this weekend. So Truck Series race on Saturday, Cup Series race on Sunday.
And there's a festival around the
Oh my
entire
gosh, it's
thing.
gonna be
How
huge.
many different people are performing?
I
Big
think 30,
names.
something like 30,
Yeah.
including Old Dominion and Cole Swindell. Nellie's going to be there.
And for some of it, you don't have to necessarily have a ticket to the race to participate in some of the concerts.
Some of them, but for the most part, I believe you do have to have a ticket
Okay.
in order to participate. But obviously, that's the big one. Then you also have the Rendezvous at Fort Deschartres down in Randolph
yeah.
County. We've
We've
talked
talked about
about that
that.
before. Really cool to experience. Your friends at Marcoute, Jersey Creamery, they've got their Cheese Fest coming up this weekend. Always a fun time, Saturday 10 to 2. And then over on our eastern region in Marshall, they've got the Fit Foodie Try. So if you like staying in shape and feeding your face both in the same day, there you go.
Okay.
You've got a 5K and a triathlon. Then they've got food trucks right there in Town Square afterwards that you can partake in.
Well, you can find out about all of those things and everything going on in Trenton. Just go to ILLINOISouth.org. John, Andy, thank you so much for being
It's a pleasure.
here.
I appreciate the opportunity.
Yeah.
I'd like to come back again sometime.
Hey, open invite.
You got it. Thank you.